I really didn't want this to happen. I really didn't want this to happen. What didn't I want to happen? Well, I have to give something else up in my diet because I'm having reactions to it. But we'll talk about that later. Yesterday, you all asked me what I'm eating, so I wanted to go through a very detailed description of what I am eating right now during the day. And I'm going to start with the water. You know, last time I talked to you about the water, I drink 3 of these a day. I try to get 2 of these in before I start eating, because once I start eating, I don't like to dilute my digestive juices a whole lot, and I just don't drink as much after I eat. So I have to have 3 of these a day, 2 before I eat. I put electrolytes in. Now, someone said to me, watch out with the electrolytes. I only use 1 bunch of electrolytes a day. I'm going to show you what I use. I use this Electrolyte. I am not sponsored. I am just a happy fan of this. This is by Dr. Sten Ekberg, and he is on YouTube. And he has so many good videos. If you haven't seen his videos, check out his videos on intermittent fasting. He has videos like what happened when I ate this many burgers or this much butter. He does all these blood tests and he very scientifically calculates everything that went on. And it's fascinating to me. Anyway, he put this together for the fasters so that they would get the proper amount of electrolytes. What this has in it is calcium, magnesium, zinc, manganese, sodium, and potassium. It's a high potassium level. I like that because I was low on potassium, which was one of the problems that I was having when I was taking my blood pressure medication and getting dehydrated, and thus having my heart be more tachycardia or a faster speed. So I'm making sure that doesn't happen by being hydrated and making sure I get my potassium and all these other minerals in here. So this has been a godsend to me. You get it on his website. It's Dr. Sten Ekberg. I don't remember the name of his website, but yeah, I really like this. Now this calls for 1 little scoop. It's a teeny little scoop. I'll show you. It's a teeny little scoop, okay? And you put a scoop of this. It says 8 to 12 ounces of water. I am not doing that. I'm putting a scoop of that in this. Now, it has a little bit of flavoring and stevia in it. And stevia is something that a lot of people can't handle, especially when you're trying to get your blood sugar down. That can even spike your blood sugar, even though it's not supposed to. So this diluted, I can handle that just fine. And then my other 2 glasses of water are just plain water. Or, here's another option. This is how I started with the Element. And it's an electrolyte drink mix. And it has, let's see, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 of magnesium. So this is another great electrolyte compound. They have a lot of really, really good flavors. With the stevia, I could not handle the sweetness of this, so I am doing the unflavored. However, I don't really like the taste of salt, so I will take 1 packet of this and I will divide it among all my waters for the day. The problem that I was having was if I don't like my water, I won't drink it. So I've had to find a solution to drinking my water, and right now my solution has been this. Because I loved the Element flavorings, and I was having a little bit of trouble. So I might be able to do it later. The other thing is I'm salting my food a lot, and so I didn't feel like I needed as much salt. All right, another thing that I am doing a high-fat diet. Okay, that means I'm getting 70 to 80% fat and 20 to 30% protein. It's just the meat. I make sure I eat fatty cuts. That means ribeye for the most part, or 80-20 grass-fed hamburger. That's what I'm eating. Now, I have super enzymes here that have ox bile in it, and I need the ox bile to help me digest the fat. Remember, I had my gallbladder taken out a few years ago. I don't have a gallbladder. So even though my liver makes bile and it will put it into my stomach, I need these enzymes to help digest it, or I will run into trouble. So sometimes people, even if they have a gallbladder, might need these enzymes. So I use these enzymes. Another thing I want to talk about is gummy vitamins. This is my Weem. These vitamins are what I'm using for my hair. These are nothing short of miraculous. My mother's hair has grown back in a lot of places because she's been using this Weem. She was having some balding spots and it was getting to the point where she would have to wear a wig. I ordered her this hair vitamin and this worked wonders. I think my hair is thicker and looks a lot better because of that. It's not just because I have a shorter cut. It's actually because I have been giving my hair these vitamins. They have biotin and some other things in. Now, these are gummies and they have sugar and carbs in them. And not a lot, it's like 4 grams of carbs, but you cannot eat your gummy vitamins during your fasting window, okay? Because that will raise your blood sugar. So right now I am very carefully eating these after I eat a whole bunch of protein so that I don't cause my glucose to spike. So gummy vitamins, no, not during the day. If you have something that you really need to eat as a gummy vitamin, do it with your protein meal after you've eaten the protein, immediately after. These enzymes, do it with your meal. So immediately before or during. If you wait a half hour, they're not going to do as much good for you and you're going to be running to the bathroom. So those are my suggestions about the exteriors. Now, the interior, what do I eat during a day, is an easy answer and a complicated answer. So I'm going to start with the easy answer. What I have been eating on the carnivore diet is, I have, in the carnivore lifestyle, I shouldn't really call it a diet. I, as you know, have been time restricted eating. So I eat in a 4-hour window. That's usually from 3 to 7. I think I'm going to make it earlier, maybe 1 to 5, because I find if I eat a big meal at night, it doesn't have a chance to digest before I go to bed, and then it'll cause me problems. So I think I'm going to move this window up. However, in my fasting window, I am getting all the effects of autophagy. Try to say that. Okay, autophagy, which is a really good way to burn out some of your bad cells, and it decreases the wrinkles in your skin and all the sag marks, and it's just really healthy. Dr. Ekberg can tell you all about intermittent fasting. I'll tell you about it in another video, but anyway, enough to say I am not eating for 20 hours, nothing. I'm just drinking my water. That's it. Not doing my gummy vitamins, not doing any other vitamins, just drinking my water with my enzyme in it for the 20 hours. And then I'm eating for the 4-hour window. I usually eat 2 meals a day. Sometimes I only eat 1 meal a day. The reason I only eat 1 meal a day on those days is either because I ran out of time and I didn't have time to eat, and then I eat a super big meal and I don't need another meal. That's actually the only reason I will only eat 1 meal a day. Usually I eat 2. So usually when I break my fast, I will start with eggs. They're kind of easy on your stomach, unless you're allergic to them. And I will scramble up 4 eggs. Now, I have been scrambling them up with the egg whites. I found out that if you scramble maybe 6 up with the egg yolks, you're going to get a higher fat content, which will help you burn weight faster. So I've been doing the 4 eggs, and then because I wasn't getting enough fat, I actually added bacon, 4 sticks of bacon to my eggs. And boy, that was super fatty. And I really needed this enzyme. There was one day I didn't do the enzyme and I regretted it. And, but you get that ratio then of the 30-70 ratio of 70 fat and 30 protein, because you want to keep your proteins down and your fats high. The fats are what's going to be what helps you stay in ketosis. You're going to burn the fat right away. Fat will not make you fat. even though that's what I always thought. So I'm really eating the fats. Now, how am I doing that? I have an app on my phone, and my app is called, there are a few apps you can get. I have my Fitness Pal on my phone, okay? And on my Fitness Pal, there is a place that does macros. And so it does my carbs and my fats and my proteins. And I set this, there's a setting in here that I can set that will say how many grams of fat I want to have and how many grams of protein I want to have. So I set it last week to 70-30. But women lose better with 80 grams of fat and 20 grams of protein. You can decide what you want to do. I'm somewhere in the middle there. My gallbladder or lack thereof can handle the 70-30, not as well the 80-20, but I want to stay as fatty as possible so that I can increase my weight loss. So when I go in there, I'll just push this little button here and I will add what I've eaten. The butter, the meat, the eggs, the bacon, it all goes in there. So I started the carnivore diet gradually, which I think is a good idea. What I find when you need to go healthy is if you go all or nothing, you're more apt to quit. Like if I get up one day and said, I got to lose weight, and then I got a gym membership and I started walking and I changed my diet and I went severe, I would not be able to stick with it because I would be so tired and it's too much. So you have to do things gradually. So no, I'm not doing any exercising right now. Even the walking that I was doing before I started this, I'm not doing. The reason that is because I got really, really tired when I started this. And I think if you're really tired, you should not push your body. You should just rest. So I have rested. All right, so no exercise. I started just with the intermittent fasting and not changing my diet. And I went severe with the 20-hour fasting and the 4-hour feeding window. However, if you are just starting, you could go with a 14-hour fast and a 10-hour feeding window or a 16-hour fast and an 8-hour feeding window. That is very manageable because basically you don't eat after dinner and then you eat at breakfast. That's very manageable. And so you can start like that, okay? It's a lot easier than the way I started. I started this way because I already was intermittent fasting. It wasn't doing any good. I wanted to increase the window. And I did it because I have that virus, the Epstein-Barr virus, in my system. And I wanted to clean up my cells. Now, Dr. Eckberg has this great thing on intermittent fasting. He talks all about it scientifically, and it's fascinating. And if you want to learn about that, look at his channel, because that's what my first thought was. I'm going to intermittent fast, and I'm going to keep my diet the same. Then, as we found out yesterday, I found out that my diet had way too many carbs. And that if I wanted to be in ketosis, I had to put my carbs down to 20 grams a day, and I was at like 300 grams a day, even though they were good carbs. So I started with the intermittent fasting. I didn't change my diet. On the third day, when I realized that my diet was all crazy, I changed my diet and I took all of my carbs out, even the healthy carbs, even the fruit, even the potatoes, even the whole grains. I took them all out, everything. Everything came out. Okay, now the other thing I have to talk to you about is seed oils. Some people don't know this yet, but canola oil, vegetable oil, all those oils, very, 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 very bad for you. Very bad for you. Your body cannot metabolize them. They are basically toxic to your system. If your system is toxic, it does not want to release weight. So don't use any of those seed oils. I was not using them. I haven't used them for 30 years, so nothing there. But it's very important if you do. So I took out every carbohydrate, the healthy ones, the unhealthy ones. I didn't really have any unhealthy ones. I just had the healthy ones, but I took them out. So that meant that my meals turned into my regular meal, which was my lean meat, my vegetables, and instead of the potato came out. I put a few more vegetables in there. That's what I was eating when I started keto. I did that for another week. Okay, so I'm inching my way toward carnivore, not knowing that I was doing that. Then I started with the bowl of lettuce, and every once in a while I would have an omelet. It would have some cheese in it, and it would have onion and mushrooms I love. So that's what would be in my omelet. And then I'd have the regular meal with my family without the potato. So that went on for about a week. I did the omelet every once in a while, or I did leftovers from the night before, or I did a bed of lettuce with meat in the middle of it. That's when I realized that I was not getting enough calories per day. I did not have any fat still in my diet, and if I wanted to go into keto, I had to have fat. This is why I decided to go into carnivore. And I thought, hey, I can eat meat. Meat will have some fat. What I didn't know is I still was choosing lean cuts. So when I went into carnivore, I got a T-bone, not enough fat. I was doing 90-10 hamburg, not enough fat. I decided I needed to increase my fat. So then I started doing the eggs and the bacon and just a fatty cut like a ribeye and 80-20 burger. Now, 2 meals. I would start in the morning with 4 eggs. Now I would change it to 6 egg yolks and 4 strips of bacon. That was my breakfast. Very satiating, could hold me 3 to 6 hours if I needed to. But I only have a 4-hour feeding window. So I'd eat that right away, go for a few hours, feeling good, and then I would get a big ribeye steak. Put butter all over it, done. That was my food per day. That would come to about 1,400 calories. And for me to lose 2 pounds a week, my MyFitnessPal says 1,400 calories is good. I would like to eat more calories than that, but right now I am pushing it to eat that many calories. I eat until I'm satiated. I eat until that hamburger or that prime rib or whatever it is does not look good to me anymore. Now I find that I can pretty much eat the prime rib. I try to eat the gristle. I try to eat the fat. I haven't been able to successfully eat all the fat. I just can't do it. I don't want to do it. It grosses me out. But I'm adding that more fat into my diet. So when I started keto, I had an alleviation of joint pain. My joint pain went away on the intermittent fasting and the keto. When I started eating eggs in my diet, my joint pain came back with a fury. That means that I cannot handle the eggs. I have inflammation in my joints because of the eggs. I know it's the eggs because eggs always gave me a stomach ache, and because I've been tested for an egg sensitivity and I have it. So why would I eat the eggs? Because I was trying to ease myself into this, and eggs helped me. It was like a quick, easy thing that I could do as opposed to firing up the grill and grilling the ribeye right away. So it kind of worked for me, but I can't do the eggs. If the eggs are inflaming my system, it's working against the whole point of doing this carnivore diet, is to reduce inflammation in my system. So even though I've lost a lot of weight, I still have inflammation in my system. So I'm going now to the Lion diet, which is basically beef, salt, and water. That's it. Beef, salt, and water. I am going to keep butter in there because I think I can handle butter. If my joint pain doesn't go away, I might take the butter out and see what that does. But this is all individualized for your body. So if you slowly do keto and you want to do keto for 10 months, go ahead and do it. If you want to do keto like Dr. Mindy Peltz, where you do the carbohydrates a few days a month, and you switch back and forth between the 2 burning modes, the sugar burning and the fat burning, you can do that with the intermittent fasting. If you want to just do the intermittent fasting, try that first. If you want to just do keto and not intermittent fast, Try that. Follow a plan for that. There are people all over YouTube that will give you all those different things. Whatever works for you. The bottom line is the carbs are bad. The carbs are going to spike your blood sugar. The insulin's going to come out. You're going to have all kinds of problems. That's where we're getting all the type 2 diabetes and the metabolic problems and the high blood pressure, and it's all coming from that. So that's the most important thing that you take out is the carbs and the seed oils. And then focus on eating a fattier diet with more fat. That's a hard one, but you can do it. Since I'm taking out the eggs, I might end up with a ribeye in the morning and a ribeye at night. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. You can do carnivore with all the meats. You can do all the meats on carnivore. Just make sure you're getting the fats. And the way to know if you're getting the fats is some kind of counter like MyFitnessPal and plugging it in, because the fat ratio is very important to weight loss. So that's what I eat. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? It's so much easier than keto because I'm not worrying about the vegetables. I'm not worrying about pushing my carbs over the edge. I have zero carbs, zero carbs. Sometimes you get a few carbs in butter or the bacon, but it's so minimal. It doesn't matter. It's not over the 20. Even if I stuck this in with a meal, I'm still down to 5 carbs a day, which is way under the 20, which keeps me in ketosis. So it's really important that you do what works for your body. If you need to eat a variety of meats, go ahead and eat it. I'm gonna try the Lion diet for a little while to see if I can get my inflammation to calm down. I definitely will be adding seafood. I plan on having lobster dipped in lots of butter this summer. Oh, I love lobster. I plan on eating plenty of salmon. I love salmon, wild caught only. Do not get the farm fresh salmon or shrimp. They are very bad for you. The stuff that they feed, you can even tell it tastes like chemicals. Don't get that. But do all the meats if you want to do all the meats. Work your way over. See what you can handle. I have a very sensitive system. I'm going very, very slim, but you don't have to do that. But I'm going to just tell you that, again, in almost 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks, I lost 7 inches off my waist. That's amazing. I mean, this shirt, I used to not be able to tie it, and now it's like baggy. This little shirt that I'm wearing under here, that used to creep up and be like a bra because my stomach was so big and I couldn't just wear it as a shirt. Now I can wear it as a shirt because it's baggy. It's amazing how it'll go right for that visceral fat right away. And when you get that insulin down, you get that blood sugar down, you're going to be able to be in weight loss when you get that ketosis going. And it works like magic. It's like melting butter. This has been like melting butter. So don't be afraid of fats. There are people that eat sticks of butter on this carnivore diet. Some people swear by it. Some people say it stalls their weight loss. Everybody is different. Some people do dairy on the carnivore diet. You can, if you can handle it, if it doesn't stall your weight loss, because that's another thing that can really stall your weight loss. So I don't do dairy. If I do any cheese, it's a teeny little sprinkling of cheese on my eggs. Now that the eggs are going, there will be no more cheese either. And I'm getting really strict, but I'm doing it for my health. You could find health in all different levels of this. You don't have to go crazy like I'm going. So I'm doing this for my body. You can do whatever works for your body. The bottom line is get the carbs out, get the seed oil out. If you want to eat in a time restricted window, that works really, really well to give you another boost and heal a lot of things in your body. That right there, I mean, honestly, I was 3 days into the intermittent fast and my diastolic blood pressure went down. So it's huge. It's huge. You can do this. I know you can do it. A lot of you are doing it, and that's really cool. Keep responding on the comments and tell everybody how you have been healed by this, because they're going to be so encouraged by that. I find that I do spend a lot of time reading things. That's the bottom line. I hope that helps you guys. Leave your questions below too, because I'll read your questions and I'll make a video about it. But whatever you decide to do is fine, and small steps count. Every single step counts. And I know a lot of you have done this and you've fallen off the wagon and feel all ashamed. Don't feel ashamed. It is impossible. It is impossible in this world to eat right. unless you just put the blinders on and go straight ahead. I mean, everything is around food. Society is around food. Eating out is around unhealthy food. We go to people's houses. We go to parties. You know, like I said to my mother yesterday, what would it be like if I had this whole big party and we didn't have food? No one would want to be there. We all want the food and we want the drinks. And it's so hard to do the right thing for your body. But when you do, it's so worth it. When I told my ice cream story yesterday, I had an emotional response to that. Like, I felt emotionally deprived. I did not feel physically deprived. I didn't have anything in me that wanted that according to cravings. I don't have any more cravings. They're all gone. No cravings for anything. I just crave my meat. So this can be done. It's very doable, but it's hard to do around other family members. That can be tricky. What they want to eat, if you can get them on board with it, go with it. You know, be careful. Watch how your body responds. Everyone's body is going to be different, and I'm really monitoring how my body responds. So I know you can do this, guys. And I love that we're getting so much conversation. So keep those comments flowing. This is great.